and grace.
I started watching Andrew. Everything that he said had a witness within my spirit, and he made the Word come alive. You know, he just helped me connect dots. I have such a passion and a love for the Word of God, and he deepened that for me.
And now, here's Andrew.
Welcome to our Wednesday's broadcast of the Gospel Truth. Today I'm continuing a series. I'm in the middle of my third week of teaching about the true nature of God. I have a book on this. This is one of the very first books I put out. It's a foundational truth. This has just revolutionized my life. And I have the book in English and in Spanish. And then my staff put together this little pamphlet that is a brief summary of this teaching. We're offering this as a free gift. Then we also have CDs and DVDs on this teaching. And I encourage you to please get these materials, because I tell you, this is powerful. And I've said a lot of things. Again, if you've missed any of this teaching, please go to our website and check out our archived edition of these programs, because I promise you, you need to get this in its context. I've already said a lot of things, but yesterday I was in Hebrews, and the book of Hebrews was written to Hebrews, people who were steeped in the Jewish law, and it was specifically to transition them away from the Old Testament law way of relating to God to the New Testament grace. The Old Testament law wasn't inaccurate, but it was incomplete. The purpose of God giving the law wasn't so that you could keep it and thereby have a relationship with God. Nobody can keep every precept of the law. And James said in James chapter 2, verse 10, that if you keep the whole law and yet just miss it in one point, you become guilty of all. So it's not like you do the best you can, and if you make 90 on this test, if you get 90 out of 100 things right, it's not like you make a passing grade. You fail unless you do 100% of it. The law wasn't given to set you free and to bring you into relationship with God. The law was given to show you that you can never be accepted with God based on your own goodness, and it would make you despair of ever earning God's favor. It would shut you up unto just asking God for mercy. That's what God was wanting to do. God was wanting to be merciful unto us. And yet people have misinterpreted the law and said, oh no, God gave this and you've got to do these things and then you will earn your relationship with God. I've confronted a lot of people who really are steeped in the law and preaching a performance-based relationship with God. And when they start condemning me, if you don't do every little precept of the law, I'll come to them and I'll say, so do you do everything perfectly? Are you without sin? Have you overcome everything? And I have yet to have a single one say, yes, I'm perfect, I never sin. We know that we all fall short. None of us measure up perfectly. And again, if you apply James chapter 2, verse 10, it says, if you keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, you become guilty of all.